Meghan Markle just dropped a bizarre video on her social media, and it instantly set the internet on fire. Just when you thought Meghan couldn't stir up more controversy, she went ahead and proved us all wrong. Because this latest stunt, it's nothing short of a media circus. And Meghan's right in the center ring, spinning one scandal after another, while the folks at Netflix just stand by, watching the chaos unfold. It all kicked off with a single Instagram clip. Sounds harmless, right? But what was supposed to look like a heartfelt pregnancy reveal quickly spiraled into a PR nightmare that torched everything in its path. She's seen in the video rapping, "Yeah, I said I'm pregnant? Get the child support and pay my rent. Pay my rent. Your opinion is irrelevant. Irrelevant. 'Cause I'm a baby mama, I can do just what I want." And that pushed her already fragile public image off a cliff. It didn't just spark backlash, it exploded. Her reputation took a hit, her team was thrown under the bus, and even top Netflix executives looked like they'd been blindsided by a freight train. Insiders now believe Netflix co-CEOs Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos are scrambling behind the scenes, trying to clean up the mess one viral video made. A video that tried to turn motherhood into a PR win, but instead burned their entire brand playbook to ash. And the wildest part? Instead of taking the video down or offering an apology, Meghan stood her ground. She left it up, as if it were some kind of bold artistic statement. That defiance? It got people talking again, including the big bosses at Netflix, and now everyone's asking the same question. What are they going to do about it? Because at this rate, Meghan's show could be on the chopping block. To really understand how things went off the rails, we've got to rewind to the very beginning. It all started when Meghan's new show dropped on Netflix on March 4th, 2025. And let's just say, the response wasn't exactly Oscar-worthy. Critics didn't mince words. They called it queasy and exhausting, which is the polite way of saying, what did we just sit through? One reviewer even described it as someone trying to be your friendly mom next door, but with production demands that scream, I need 3 ring lights, 2 backup generators, and a glam squad on standby. And then came the moment that truly broke the internet. Pretzels. Yes, lovingly hand-packed by Meghan herself, neatly placed into custom-designed pouches. It was meant to be sweet and personal, but Jimmy Fallon got hold of it and did what he always does. He turned it into comedy gold. Cue the studio laughter, cue the online takedowns, cue the memes flooding your timeline within minutes. One person summed it up perfectly. Watching Meghan repackage snacks felt like watching Martha Stewart have a midlife crisis in a Hallmark movie. Fallon nailed it with his deadpan. They don't get why it's a thing. She takes the pretzel from one bag and puts it in another bag. It's confusing. Now, to be fair, the viewership wasn't terrible. The show pulled in 12.6 million hours in its first week. Not bad at all. But for someone with headlines following her like paparazzi drones, those numbers didn't explode. They just kinda dropped with a soft thud. Think of it like lukewarm tea at a royal brunch. It's technically there, but nobody's going back for a refill. Now here's the kicker. Season 2? Already filmed. But don't go making popcorn just yet. There's no promise it'll ever see the light of day. Just because the cameras were rolling doesn't mean Netflix is rushing to hit publish. Whispers are flying faster than a Montecito rumor mill that the streaming giant might quietly shelve it. No drama, no headlines, no announcement, no cancellation. Just a slow, quiet fade into digital obscurity, like background noise you didn't even realize was still playing. Meanwhile, Meghan's PR team is in full panic mode, desperately spinning a story that the show is thriving, vibrant, and totally locked in for another season. But the energy feels off. Netflix greenlit season 2 almost the moment season 1 dropped, and let's be honest, that kind of snap decision usually screams damage control, not confidence. When a show gets a lightning-fast renewal but can't even trend beyond someone's overexcited aunt sharing it on Facebook, that's not exactly a roaring success. And just when it couldn't get more cringeworthy, enter the celebrity chef drama. Because apparently, Netflix isn't just frustrated with Meghan, they're frustrated with anyone who dares to critique her. Rumors started swirling that the company threatened legal action against a well-known chef who wasn't impressed by the show. Netflix scrambled to deny it, but the internet had already picked up the scent. Here's the thing, though. With Love, Meghan wouldn't be the first of her projects to mysteriously vanish from the platform. Remember Pearl? That animated series meant to empower young girls with a main character that, let's be honest, looked a lot like Meghan? Gone. Pulled before it ever got a proper launch. Netflix quietly axed it, likely realizing that turning children's programming into a PR minefield just wasn't worth the heat. And just like that, Pearl disappeared before anyone could even hum the theme song. So no, let's not get too comfy thinking with Love, Meghan is safe. Sure, it's still streaming. Sure, the show page is still there. But if you really want to remember it, you might want to screenshot it now, because at this rate, it could vanish overnight, like a forgotten Pinterest board someone meant to come back to, but never did. To turn up the drama a notch, Pearl didn't just disappear quietly. A British author came forward, claiming Meghan borrowed the entire concept straight from her own children's books. And when she tried to reach out, silence. No response. No statement. Not even a half-hearted, whoops. While Meghan seems to avoid confrontation like it's gluten, she's all about switching gears when the camera's rolling. Take her emotional sit-down with Jamie Kern-Lama, for instance. Meghan appeared in full vulnerable mode. No makeup, soft backlighting, a shirt with her kids' names, and a gentle monologue about self-worth. I guess on the tough days, it really helps to remind myself that I am enough. And then some days I'm just like, what even is this life? Cue the sniffles. Cue the dramatic pause. Cue the perfect soundbite that felt like it had gone through 3 rehearsal drafts and a lighting test. To some, it was heartfelt. To others? Well, let's just say the internet's professional skeptics had a feast. Body language experts weighed in too. One pointed out her blink rate spiked the second Prince Harry's name was dropped. Another claimed she was using classic actor tricks to cry on cue. And naturally, social media dubbed it another gold medal performance in her unofficial campaign for the Soft Life Olympics. Now, while With Love, Meghan is technically a cooking show, watching it feels more like stumbling into an herbal fever dream. There are bees. There are edible petals. There's slow-motion tea pouring like we've entered a cinematic spa commercial. And Meghan? Floating around her Montecito kitchen like she's just discovered turmeric and believes the world must be enlightened. It's less cooking show, more Pinterest board with a trust fund. Then comes the big moment. Meghan whispering, "Here we go." It's a business. Delivered like a sacred revelation. But let's be real, we knew that from the start. From the artisan cookware to the hyper-styled kitchen to the suspiciously shoppable items peppered throughout each episode, it screams soft focus infomercial in a $400 linen apron. And viewers weren't exactly lining up for seconds. The filtered aesthetic, the curated calm, the completely out-of-touch vibes, it all felt a bit smug, especially to audiences dealing with real-world issues like gas prices and rent. Critics didn't label it aspirational. They called it tone-deaf. One even compared it to a luxury commercial trying to convince you that lavender foam and chamomile tea can heal generational trauma. And Meghan? Unfazed. Somewhere out there in her garden, she's probably brainstorming season 3 concepts while sipping flower-infused tonic and sketching a line of crystal-infused serving spoons. And despite the online mockery, eye rolls, and parodies, she just kept twirling. Whether Netflix lets her keep twirling on their dime? That's still TBD, because when the reviews rolled in, they were brutal. The British press didn't pull a single punch. The Times called the show overly sweet, self-congratulatory, and somehow worse than that. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being dramatic. Watching this made me physically nauseous. The Telegraph made a gloomy prediction that still managed to undersell the cringe. The New York Post hit with a full review roast. Visually stunning, emotionally empty, and the kind of vibe that screams, "I'm too rich to relate." Cue the internet pile-on. TikTok was soon flooded with parodies, people mimicking Meghan's whispery voice, gently rearranging herbs, blinking into the distance, and stirring tea like it's a holy ritual. It was secondhand embarrassment at its finest. If cringe ever needed a mascot, this show would be carrying the flag. And just when the memes were peaking, Netflix casually greenlit a second season. So why? Why keep going? Turns out not everyone was mocking it. Some writers and public figures rushed to Meghan's defense, insisting that the backlash wasn't about content. It was about bias. Think pieces sprouted like mushrooms, arguing that the hate had more to do with who Meghan is than what she's making. Others praised the show for celebrating simple joys. Although if everyday magic means artisanal salt, $14,000 counters, and tea made from hand-plucked rose petals, then we're clearly living on different planets. Still, let's not pretend this is smooth sailing. With Love, Meghan? is clinging to its spot on the platform. And somewhere out there, her critics are sharpening scissors, just waiting to cut the cord.